So we're coming to the end of October, which means it's almost November, which means it's almost time for NaNoWriMo, the National Novel Writing Month, where we write 50,000 words in the month of November. It's doable, I promise. I think the first thing to look at is planning, and I don't mean planning your story, that we'll get to a bit later. I mean planning your time and planning your space. When and where are you actually going to write? I think a lot of problems come up when people just they start, but they haven't actually thought, when can I do this? Where can I do this? Are people going to leave me alone in order to do this? So I think first off, get yourself a plan of the month, either weekly or do the whole month. Get yourself a calendar and block out things like work, school, courses, those things that, let's be honest with ourselves, certain things we can cancel and certain things we cannot get out of. So block out all of those things during the whole month that you have to do, that you have no choice in. It sounds obvious, but we'll start this kind of thing and it might be a couple of days where we just can't do any writing, and then you kind of lose the momentum and the belief in yourself, and you don't want that to happen. You want to start off with the best chance possible. So be honest with yourself. If you've got work all day or school all day, then you've got something else to do in the afternoon. Then maybe you've got like chores and stuff you've got to do. Really, on that day, are you going to be able to write? Whereas the next day, maybe you have the day off. Maybe you have an extra couple of hours. This is the thing. Are you going to try and write every day? Or are you going to try and write extra on the weekend, extra on your day off? That kind of thing. So get yourself a calendar and really plan this stuff out. I'm sure you all know that there's the NaNoWriMo website. It's a really good website. And there is something about that graph that they have. When you put your word count at the end of each day in there, it's absolutely brilliant to see that graph going up and that magic turning to winner ! At the end. It's really important that you use that website. It's free. You can donate if you want. There's an option too. It is a charity, so obviously it's a nice thing to do if you can. But it is free and it's there for you, and they have writing buddies and they have regions, and you can join as many or as little as you want. It's a good resource to have, and they have lots of nano prep talks and all sorts of things on there. So definitely, if you haven't already, go and sign up on the website. And this leads us to letting other people know what you need. Some people in your life, bless them, but you can't tell things to. It's kind of like when you go on a diet and all of a sudden they've got a cream cake for you. That kind of useful thing. Some people, they'll try and sabotage you a little. You know the people in your life you can trust. You know the people in your life that maybe you don't tell them too much. Again, it's all about being honest with yourself about what you can and can't do. But those people that you can trust, those people around you, explain to them what you're doing. They might even want to get involved, but at the very least, if you are quiet in the corner with your computer on your lap, they'll know what you're doing, and they'll leave you alone if you tell them that's what you need. Also, think through your month. What can you cancel? It's 1 month. It's 30 days. Some things may be just for this month, for this. If it's really important to you, you can let go. Let your friends know. Well, okay, that Zoom meeting, as it would be this year, just maybe leave it off for a few weeks. You know, those things that you can leave. Be honest with yourself about all this stuff. Rearrange your month as much as you can to still live your life and still be okay. You don't want to make it so it's impossible to keep up with any schedule that you set. But make it so you leave yourself space to actually do this stuff. If it's what you want, you'll find that time. Figure out where you're actually going to write, where you can have space. Is it your bedroom? Is it a corner in the lounge? Where can you go? Right now, there's some stuff going on. There's this whole thing where we can't leave the house. So yeah, your options are a little bit smaller this year. That's either a doable thing or kind of useful. Next we have supplies. Basically, you need a pen and some paper. Really, you have to at the end to get your winner's banner, upload your word count. Yes, so you will really for that need a laptop, need access to the internet, all that stuff. But really, you're fighting against yourself. It's your own challenge. So you have a pen and paper, you can do this. But yes, okay, a computer would be useful, I admit. And there's lots of other things that can help you. A whiteboard, markers, post-it notes, some of that red string that you see in old detective movies, so you can like string it all together and make it look really cool. Or in my mind, it would be really cool. Anyway, moving on. Notebooks. Carry a notebook with you at all times. Keep it in your pocket, keep it in your bag, keep it with you, so when that idea comes, you can note it down. There's apps on your phone you can use as well, just to keep those ideas with you and always thinking about it. It is 1 month. You can do this. Now, personally, I have a real problem thinking of names. I don't want to pause and have to stop, or generally I'd put like a ... where I had to put a name. I can't think of one in the moment, so I have a book of baby names, or Google baby names. That's always a good idea, just to keep you flowing, so you don't have to stop to like think of these little things that you can change later on. But while you're typing away or writing away, you want to just keep going. Also a thesaurus, things like that. Good to keep on hand, or at least, a tab on your computer where you can find one. There's highlighters and, as I said, post-its and lots of different ways of sorting out your story. Which brings us to the actual story. NaNoWriMo have 3 words for 3 different types of writers. You've got the planner, the pantster, and the plantster. Now, the planner would have possibly already have planned out beginning, middle, and end of the story. Who's in it, the characters, the antagonist, the protagonist, everyone else, where, when, and really planned out, maybe even chapter by chapter, what they're going to write. So when November hits, they're ready to go. Now the pantster, which is possibly more me, may start with a character or may start with a line or just something happening and just start writing. Just go for it. It's certainly an interesting way to write, and one that I've tried and had a go with. And I think once you get on the roll, the ideas start coming and you can just keep going with it. Then there's the plantster, which is a mixture of the two and a word I can barely say. Maybe you start with like the beginning and the end and you're not quite sure what happens in the middle. Maybe you've got a rough idea of how you want the story to go. Maybe you know all the characters already, you're just not quite sure what they're going to do. But you have kind of a plan and then you just wing it and see how you go. There are things you can use as well. You can use prompts. I may have just been doing the Inktober challenge with my own prompts in the lovely Cup of Doom, where I just pulled out a prompt every day that my loving family came up with for me. Thanks for that, guys. And just drew it. You could do that with your writing. Have a list of prompts. There are writing prompt books. There's also art prompt books. Why not use something like that? Who is your protagonist? Who do you want to write about? That could be a good start. What about the antagonist? Who's going against your hero or heroine? Where is it set? Is it in a realistic world? Is it in another world? Are you going to make up your own world? And what else is there? Are there magical creatures? Different buildings? What do you want to write about? And then finally, daydream. Just daydream about it. If you can start off with your protagonist, just think about them. What are they doing? Where are they going? What do they want to achieve? Just let your mind drift and see where it takes you. Because letting yourself daydream, you'll colour all of your thoughts and it'll come to you. And then you just write it down every day, 1,667 words. So there you go, just a very quick rundown of how to start NaNoWriMo. Time to start planning it. Time to start thinking about what and who and where. And time to start daydreaming and just colour your thoughts in. And most of all, enjoy it. It is supposed to be fun after all. This one will be my 13th year of doing this. So I wish you luck. Wish me luck too. Bye.